Hi there, and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to be talking personal finances for beginners. We're going to be talking budget and how I used to feel about budget, and most likely you feel the same. We're going to be talking assets, liabilities, strategies for spending your money the right way, strategies for structuring your budget in a way that makes sense. And we're going to talk a little bit about some concepts about how you spend your income and how you plan your income going forward. My name is Weide-Market. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done so yet, and hit the bell for notifications for future videos. I'm just quickly looking in my notes so that I don't miss anything and I don't get sidetracked doing this video. I tend to sometimes go off on a tangent and then completely forget about what I wanted to say. The one thing I want to start with is, in my life, my budget has always been something that I look up to and never wanted really to do. It was always something that you just keep track of your income and expenditure. I've recently come to learn that you should actually be using your budget as a tool for planning the finances and planning the income that comes in, so that you don't end up spending money that you didn't want or didn't need to spend to begin with. So budget has always been a painful thing for me. Budgeting and filling out my budget has always been a painful thing for me. These days though, I see a budget as more of a planning tool. And I want you to remember this phrase: if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. In other words, if you just live paycheck to paycheck, or you just use the money as it comes in, you're never going to attain the goals that you have financially. Now, if your goals are just to spend your money, then go right ahead and go find another video to watch, because this will not be for you. If you want to, however, grow your income and you're focused on growth for future income, then keep watching. So now I want to take some time and spend and explain the concept of structuring your budget according to what your goals are. And obviously this is something you could optimize or customize as you like, but this is a structure that I'm aiming to implement in my own budget in recent times. So the first thing is to spend less than 25% of your income on housing. So in other words, whether you buy or rent, or even if you stay with friends or whatever the case may be, but less than 25% of your income should be allocated to housing. The next, only or less than 10% of your income should be spent on transport. So whether you own the car or paying the car, or you buy the car, or you're saving for a car, or you use public transport, the spending on that should be less than 10% of your income. Next, you should save at least 10% or more of your income for retirement, and this could be done via various different investment schemes. Could be a low risk investment or simple retirement annuity. That's up to you, but at least 10% of your income should be spent on that. You should have no non-mortgage debt, so credit cards, personal loans, clothing accounts, all of those, get rid of it. Pay it off as quickly as possible, and in the next couple of minutes we'll cover a little bit more strategy and some steps to do that. Make sure you pay your bills on time. Don't get behind on payments. And then lastly, know your net worth. In a recent video, I saw an interview between Grant Cardone, the author of the 10X Rule, and Kevin Hart, the comedian or movie star. Kevin Hart, in this video, I'll share a link below of the post on Instagram. Kevin Hart goes on to say that Monopoly is a real game. So buy real estate, get people to pay you rent. It works. The principles that you learn in Monopoly applies in life. And Kevin Hart and, in fact, Grant Cardone are testament to this. Kevin Hart goes on to say, or in this video, and I encourage you to watch it, it's quite inspiring. In short, he says whatever income he gets from making a movie, regardless of what the amount is, he takes that income and splits it in half. 50% he puts one side and he calls that his tax account. So that when it comes to a point where he needs to pay taxes, the money is available and he doesn't have to worry about it. He doesn't touch that money, he doesn't see that money as his. Of the remaining 50%, he splits that in half again. So in other words, 25% he puts into what he calls his property investment account. That account, that money, once again, he doesn't touch. He might not know what property deal he's working on at the moment, but that money is there available for when he figures out what that needs to be. Then the last 25% is what he lives off. I can hear you saying, yes, Kevin Hart earns a lot of money from making movies, and he's got the finances to spend so little of his income. And yes, I agree with you. The fact of the matter is, imagine if you can build that discipline into your life from the first paycheck you get, to live only off a portion of your income and use the surplus between what you spend and what you earn to create extra income. Oh, one more thing that Kevin Hart mentions in the video is that you only get into debt if you don't understand your finances. So get to understand your finances, learn where your income comes from, and learn new skills so that you become more profitable, so that you become more valuable, and you can ask more or charge more or get paid more from the skills that you learn. And that also builds your income capacity. But understand where that income comes from and understand what you want to do with that money to create extra income. That brings me to the next point. You may have seen or may not have seen in some of my other videos, I make mention of the 4 steps of creating wealth. Warren Buffett is famed for saying it's easy to create wealth. There are 4 simple steps. The strategy is step number 1, earn income. Step number 2, live below your means. Step number 3, create extra income with a surplus. So the surplus between your income and your expenditure, that portion of your income, use that to create extra income. And step 4 is do that consistently, or repeat that consistently. So once you start generating extra income, only you still live below your means. The surplus you use to create extra income, and then the income that comes in, you only live off a portion of that and use the surplus to create extra income again. Do this repeatedly and you'll soon see the snowball effect of generating extra income that way. That brings me to the next point of what does your spending habits look like. And on screen now, I've got a post that I did on Instagram. I must admit I copied it from some other wealth creation Instagram feed, but the essence is that if your spending habits look like what you see on the left hand side of the screen, you will see that if you keep on spending all your money, you're never going to have any money. If you are ever change your spending habits and adjust your spending habits and adopt strategies that make your spending habits look like more on the right hand side of the screen, you can clearly see that if you use your income and split it into sections where you only spend a portion, like in Kevin Hart's example, 25%, you only spend 25% on yourself. The other 75% of your income you should be saving and providing for future plans and investments to create extra income with. Now let's move on to the 7 Baby Steps by Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey has written books and has helped many people get out of debt, personal loans, and being in this dark hole, deep dark hole of being in too much debt. So here is Dave Ramsey's 7 baby steps. Step number 1, this is in US dollars. I'm going to try and convert it to South African rands as best as possible. Step 1 is to save $1,000. In other words, that's around between, let's say that's 16,000 Rand. I would say aim for 10,000 Rand as a baseline. And this is your emergency fund. Step number 2 is to pay off all debt except for your home loan. So anything, personal loan, credit cards, bills, accounts, anything outside of your home loan or your mortgage, pay that off. Then step 3 is to increase your emergency fund to be able to cover 3 to 6 months expenses. Step number 4 is to invest 15% of your household income for retirement. Step number 5 is to save for your children's education. Step number 6 is to pay off your home early, so pay your mortgage as quickly as possible. And then step number 7 is, now you're out of debt, you're clear of debt, you have surplus cash coming in as part of your income, and now you start building wealth and giving to the less fortunate. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it gave you some ideas and thoughts on how to adjust your budget, how to structure your budget, and how to think differently about your budget so that your budget doesn't hang over your head like it used to in my life. This is Weide-Market from Weide-Market. Please remember to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications, and like and share this video and comment below of any thoughts that you might have about these topics shared in the video. Thank you and have a good week.